So, welcome to Mindful Monday, a weekly series that helps high performing executives to save 10 hours a week, set better boundaries, and create more space for their health, their family, and for themselves without feeling guilty and without slipping behind at work or without feeling like you're falling behind or failing at work. And today we are going to talk about something almost everyone silently struggles with, and it is how do I save 10 hours a week when I can't say no? And today I want to go deeper than habits and tips because your time problem is not a calendar problem, it is a belief system problem. And if you struggle to say no, it's not because you're weak, it's because somewhere along the way you learned my value comes from being available. Or if I don't step in, things will fall apart. And saying no makes me look difficult, unhelpful, or replaceable. And these beliefs quietly run your entire week, runs your system, and they make you say yes before you even checked on your own plate. And they make you overextend to protect other people's comfort while sacrificing your own peace. And they convince you that you don't have a choice when you actually do. And let's transform those beliefs today so you can finally understand why you're actually choosing this way and why you are actually operating currently this way. And the first shift here is separate pressure from responsibility. Most high performers, they carry invisible pressure that was never theirs to hold. And you feel responsible for maintaining harmony, for fixing problems, for carrying the team, for stepping in, for smoothing things out. But responsibility and pressure are not the same. You can be responsible without being the default problem solver or the person who always steps in and tries to solve everything. You can be reliable without being available 24/7, and you can support others without abandoning yourself. Saving 10 hours a week starts with recognizing their urgency is not automatically your responsibility. And your value doesn't come from how fast you respond, it comes from the quality of how you think. This alone can make a huge difference when you see this and when you create awareness around why you're doing that. And with awareness, you can accept the fact, and acceptance alone doesn't change the situation. You have to take the action. You have to, even if it's uncomfortable, you have to force yourself to take the first action in order to see a different result. And shift two is here. Buy yourself space. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to rest. Rest doesn't equals laziness or that you are a failure. Rest equals success. Rest equals intentional, being intentional with yourself and creating more clarity so you can be more focused on what you are doing or what you are working on. And saying yes fast creates overwhelm, and saying no too fast creates guilt. So the solution is not a yes or not a no, it is a pause, like this. Pause for a second. And most high performers have forgotten they are allowed to pause. And you trained your nervous system to respond immediately, even if it costs your health. A simple pause rewires everything. You can say something like, let me check in with my priorities before you say yes or before you say no. Or you can say, I will circle back in 20 minutes or in 50 minutes. Or even, I will circle back in an hour. Or let me see what's already on my plate. That pause gives you agency. It gives you power. It prevents you from committing from stress, and that alone can save hours from clean up later. And saving 10 hours isn't about saying no more. It is about saying yes more intentionally. Another shift, or the last shift here, is boundaries, setting boundaries without following up with a paragraph or without creating excuses and apologies. Because when you set a boundaries and after that you give a paragraph of excuses, you give room for the other opponent to negotiate your boundary. So you don't have to set a boundaries with something behind it. A boundary is a boundary and you don't have to explain yourself for it. A lot of people think they struggle with boundaries, but what they are actually struggling with is guilt. You've been conditioned to believe that saying no makes you selfish. And if we are being honest here, it is because people trust consistent people and and not being also sorry to see the truth here. What actually is that people trust consistent people and not exhausted people. And boundaries don't require explanation, they require clarity. You can say something like, I don't have capacity for it right now. Or I can support you with this on Tuesday or next week or after lunch break. And also you can say, I am prioritizing XYZ today. And I already, or you can also say, I already have a lot on my plate. Or when your boss when your boss is coming to you and say to you and giving you another task, you have to say, I already have a lot on my task. Can we set up a meeting and talk about priorities here, so I can see what should I prioritize first in order to see to get things done with the right intention and with my most effective self and with my most energy, and not being like all over the place and pulled in 20 different directions. Again, boundaries don't have to be follow up with an paragraph of excuses or explanation. It can be short, it can be steady, it can be clean. The more grounded you are in your boundary, the more respect you create. And it is not just from others, but from yourself. And the deep, deep truth here is, when you struggle to say no, you're not protecting other people's feelings, you're protecting an identity you outgrew. And you are still acting like the person who has to prove their worth. And when you are already the person who earned their seat at the table, saving 10 hours a week isn't just about behavior change, it's about identity change. It's about becoming the version of you who sees themselves as worthy of rest, as worthy of space, as worthy of support, and as worthy of time. And if this resonates with you, send me the word realign, and I will share the details with you how we can see and identify your exact gaps. And I will give you the first 3 steps to start setting boundaries immediately. And to make it more easy, you can book a call right now through the link in my bio, and we will exactly going to identify the exact gaps, and I will give you the first 3 steps to start setting boundaries immediately, so you can stop sitting at the dinner table and thinking about work and actually enjoy the moments with your family, with your kids, and having the present moment you are actually craving right now. So don't wait. It only takes 2 minutes to book the call, and you can start the year right. So don't wait for it. Make the change now. It's on your hand. It's in your hand, not on your hand. Thank you so much, and we will see us in the next live next Monday. Until then, have a great start of the week, and I hope you had a great start of the week and your week is going wonderful. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much here also.